Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be all about the brand new 2021 iMac. Apple finally revealed it at the spring-loaded event. I had a great time watching it, but there was a ton of stuff that they didn't really make that clear. So hopefully this video helps a lot of you guys out on whether or not you should purchase it. It's also going to be a bit of my reaction to the computer because there's a lot of things that I have to say about the whole design. But let's go ahead and get started. So we have to address the elephant in the room. That big, thick chin is still there. That is a thick boy. I don't know why they didn't just remove that. I know the reason why the chin is still there is because the majority of the actual computer parts are in it. And the way that they did this was they basically shifted pretty much all of the computer parts to the bottom of the iMac. Not a big fan of that. I think if they just moved the computer components to the back and made it a bit thicker, I don't think anyone would really care. Because normally it's on a desk with the back facing a wall anyways. And also, the weight that's advertised is less than 10 pounds, but by adding maybe a couple of pounds and making the display a little bit thicker, they could have removed the chin, and I don't think a lot of people would really mind if the iMac weighed maybe a pound or two heavier, or if it was a little bit thicker than the 11.5 inches that they advertised. Another thing that I wasn't a huge fan of was that they went with pastel-based colors. I don't know how they just didn't include space gray because they know that would be the best seller, so I was just really confused and kind of disappointed that it wasn't an option. And I get it, it was a spring event and they want to showcase the new iMac colors and have it as almost like a throwback to the original iMac, but I don't know that many people that would really want a really colorful computer. Now I could be totally wrong and everyone could go crazy over the new colors, but I used to work at an Apple store and a lot of people just went with like space gray every time if it was an option, and not a lot of people would buy colorful products. But it is really cool to see that the iMac is going to be coming in different colors this year, even if I'm not going to buy them in those colors. And before we get into all of the details of the M1 iMac, I just want to say they could have made it look way cooler just by simply doing this. But now on to the breakdown. So the back of the iMac is going to have a darker color, which I think looks really good, but the front is going to have that pastel-based color. I think it would have been awesome if they brought the colored iMacs over, but just kept the color that was on the back throughout the whole thing. A Ferrari red iMac would look amazing, that purple would look great, but those pastel colors, in my opinion, kind of ruin it. So now that my rant is kind of done regarding the new colors, I do want to get into some nitty-gritty details regarding the new iMacs. Now the base model comes with blue, green, pink, and silver, and if you upgrade to the higher end 24-inch models, you get more color options with yellow, orange, and purple being added to the 256GB iMac. I think it would have just made more sense to just have the same colors on all of them, and if that means maybe reducing it to maybe like 4 colors, I think that would have just made a lot more sense, because I can just picture how confused people are going to be when they go to the Apple store and they're like, oh, I want this color, and then the employee tells them, oh, you gotta spend another $400 to get this one. I'm just having flashback moments to me at the Apple store having to explain this kind of thing, and it's just very confusing. Another design change we're looking at is the bezels are now going to be white, which is a little bit odd. One of the reasons that they chose to do this is because these new iMacs are basically a throwback to the original iMac, but I do think it looks a little bit dated and it would have looked better in black. Another design change that we're getting is straight edges on the sides, which is a really nice change, and it's going to make it look similar to the iPad Pros and iPhone 12 lineup. The headphone jack is also going to be on a different spot. It's actually going to be on the left side versus on the back, which I think it makes a lot more sense to have it on the left side because it just makes it more ergonomic. The power button's also going to be on the left too. The new iMac is also going to be supported by the Visa stand. It's going to have 4 USB-C ports and 2 of them are going to be Thunderbolt compatible. There's also going to be no SD card reader on the new iMac, which is going to make a lot of people really upset, especially if they're into photo and video like myself. That just means it's dongle time, baby. Time to spend another, $50 or so and be able to use the SD card again. I'm a little bit upset by this, but it's not like a huge deal. Like, yes, it sucks. You've probably got to buy a new adapter to use that SD card, but I definitely think Apple could have fit that on the sides, maybe even right above the headphone jack or something, but it is kind of disappointing that they've removed that. They also removed the gigabit Ethernet from the back of the iMac and instead placed it in the 256 and 512 charging brick, which is an odd choice, but that is also going to upset some customers who want the base model and now will have to buy a new adapter to use gigabit Ethernet, and I'm sure those adapters aren't going to be cheap either. I just really wish they kept all of the changes and features and everything like the same between the 3 models, because this is going to be really confusing for the average person. We're also getting a 4.5K Retina display with a 1080p quality camera, studio quality mics, and a 6-speaker sound system with the audio projections actually going down, which will make the sound better than the previous iMac, that's for sure. MagSafe is also coming back, even though they didn't officially call it MagSafe, and it's going to have a color-matched woven cable, which will make it way more durable. The M1 chip is also going to be powering the iMac, which at first I was kind of disappointed. I was like, oh, I was really hoping for an M1X or an M2, but then I realized that this refresh is replacing the base model 21.5-inch iMac powered by Intel chips, so it's going to be much more powerful than those regardless. But I definitely think we'll be seeing that M1X or M2 chip iMac once the 27-inch iMac is replaced sometime in the summer, probably, with the rumored 32-inch model. We're also getting a new Magic Keyboard and mouse to match the color of the iMac that you choose, which is really cool and adds a lot of personality. And something awesome that's going to be coming to the new Magic Keyboard is Touch ID. It's actually going to be a button on the top right portion of the Magic Keyboard. Unfortunately, the base model will not have Touch ID on the Magic Keyboard. It will just be a standard keyboard with no unlocking functionality. All of the new iMacs will come with 8 gigs of memory, but you can also upgrade them to 16. Also, the base model will have an 8-core GPU and 7-core GPU, but if you upgrade to the other two models, which would be the 256 or 512, those computers actually have an 8-core GPU, so slightly more powerful than the base model. Pre-orders will be starting on April 30th, so if you guys do want to pick one up, make sure you mark your calendars, and then they will be shipping out in the second half of May. So by this time next month, we should be seeing tons of unboxing and reviews of the new computers. Personally, I don't think I'll be picking one up, just because, like I said, I was kind of disappointed that it didn't come in space gray. So what I think I might do is just kind of wait around, see if that 32-inch model comes out in space gray and get that one. I'm hoping the design grows on me a little bit, because right now I'm not a huge fan of it, as you guys could probably tell from the beginning of the video. Some people might love it, and I totally understand if you do. I respect that. I was just really hoping for something that looked like the Pro Display XDR, but it looks like we'll probably get that with maybe an iMac Pro. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much everything you need to know about the new iMac. They were kind of vague in the presentation and didn't really go into the nitty-gritty details, so hopefully this helped you out. Leave a comment down below if you guys are planning on picking one up, and if you are, which color are you getting it in? Other than that, that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe. I hope you guys all have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Got